Hey, what's going on? This is Martone, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness, and with this video, it is to help you guys. I want to specifically help parents, guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles, depending on who it is that has maybe even babysitters, who want to get their workouts in, but it seems like they're not able to get to their workouts in due to the kids being around, due to the kids trying to include themselves into the workout, which I find funny, and I think that's a good thing. A good thing, especially with a conversation that I've had many times over the years, including yesterday, having a conversation with someone, and she was saying how her kids are getting in the way when they're trying to do their workouts. Depending on whatever workout you're doing at the time, and the kids are getting in the way, let them work out with you. Um, I want to say, especially if they're under the age of 5, maybe even under the age of 6. But that's a good thing if they're working out with you. One, that's going to become a lifestyle for them, possibly, if it seems like fun for them, like it did for me. Um, One. Two, the fact that depending on how small, how young, and what they're currently capable of, if you let them get involved with some of the exercises that you're doing, like if you're using a stepper, a step riser, maybe even a treadmill, but using a trampoline, if you're using certain things that your kids might seem kids, nieces, nephews, grandkids, whoever it is, seem to be interested in doing or curious to use or play with or whatever the case may be, try to take a certain amount of time. Either try to take a certain amount of time within your workout to let them do it, so that they can get their stuff in and done in terms of playing, having a certain amount of fun. And then the good thing about that is, depending on what they're currently capable of and how young they are, how much fun they might be having, there's a strong possibility they'll tire themselves out. There's a strong possibility they'll tire themselves out, especially if there's another kid with them at the time. So if it's one kid, there's a possibility they're going to tire themselves out. If it's multiple kids, they're challenging each other, whether on purpose or not, challenging each other, trying to figure out who can do it better, faster, stronger, whatever the case may be, even if they're not necessarily saying that to each other, depending on how young they are. Let them do it if they're depending on what it is and if it's safe. Um, Let them do it. To let them, you know, let that become a lifestyle for them, and then depending on how young they are, they'll probably tire themselves out. Tire themselves out to where they're too tired to play around as much doing certain things while you're trying to get work done if you're working at home. Um, Trying to help someone with certain things. Want to spend alone time with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Whatever it is that you want to do or trying to do. If you try to get your workout in and the kids are interrupting, depending on what it is, let them do it. Let them do it. Let them get involved. Um, because I can just imagine how close I would be with my parents if they were doing workouts, and depending on what the workout was, they let me do it with them. But unfortunately, somehow I fell in love with fitness even though my parents weren't doing it. So lucky me, I guess. But I can just, again, the opportunity to help that become a lifestyle for the kid or kids, um, for them to start that early, without, especially if you're not forcing them to do it, for the kids to start so early, depending on how young they are currently. Um, Possibly like it, if not love it, like I do. Um, and then again, depending on how young they are, they are currently those little muscles can only handle but so much, to where hopefully either you let them do it with you while you're doing your workout, or just ask them like, hey, just let me get this in and done for a certain period of time, depending on how long you're doing certain things. And then say, after I'm done, you can have as much fun as you want, especially if you actually tell them, hey, let me finish this. And then you can play and have as much fun as you want, to where it's just like, really? And then let them do it afterwards. Again, that'll likely become a lifestyle. It might be fun for them. Um, Depending on, almost regardless of how young they are now, for them to start now and possibly keep going in their older years. I'm going on 39. Within the next 2 weeks, actually, the next 11 days, depending on when some of you see this. In the next 11 days, I'll be 39 years old, and I've been doing this most of my life, doing different things, enjoying everything that I've done, especially the stuff that I do on my own. Um, because I don't think there's anything that I do that I don't want to do and don't necessarily like. Um, then or now. So I don't think there's too many times I've done stuff I didn't like, other than when I was in school and they have you run a mile. That wasn't fun, but at the same time, during my younger years, I did see that as a challenge to see how fast I can do it every time I did it. But in terms of fun, no. But the challenge of trying to see how fast I can do it, yes. So again, for parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, if you got kids that are around and you're trying to get a workout in, depending on what it is, uh, and the kids are trying to get involved with it, let them do it. Either do it with them, let them do it with you, depending on what it is, to where it gives them the opportunity to do it. Actually, shoot, depending on what you're doing, and the kids get involved, you might get more of a workout letting them do it with you. To where now, I've been saying it for decades, depending on how long some people have been following me, for you to get the kids involved, you're probably going to do a little bit more of certain things by getting them involved, especially with cardio, doing a little bit more, trying to play with them and have a good time with them, to where you're getting a certain amount of stuff in that you usually don't get in. They get a certain amount of stuff in that they usually don't do, depending on what they usually do themselves or with each other if there's other kids. And there's just so many different ways to make this stuff work, and that's why I love what I do. Because again, someone mentioned it to me yesterday. Hopefully, she sees this video too. And as much as it seems like they're getting in the way, which they are, it's just like, you know what? Well, I wonder if I let them try this, or suggest this, or do this with them. It's so many different ways to make that work. And then again, if you have kids like under the age of 6 and they try to do certain things because they see you do it, and you let them do it, then all of a sudden, sometime within the next 3 hours, you're wondering why it's so quiet, and then you go to look, and it seems like and they're asleep. So it's a good thing in terms of them working, exercising those little muscles, depending on how young they are. And then the fact that, again, with them exercising those little muscles and doing stuff that they are not necessarily ready for just yet, all of a sudden, a few hours later, shoot, maybe even an hour later, depending on how much fun they had doing it, all of a sudden they're asleep, and you get to do certain things you usually don't have time to do, or being able to do certain things without being bothered, if you consider it a bother. So, I didn't mean to make this video as long, but again, just to make sure there's some ideas and some understanding as to, yes, they may be in the way, but if you can figure out how to utilize it to where, make it a game, and then if you're not able to make it a game, you don't know how or just don't want to, just say something like, hey, let me finish this, and then you can have as much fun as you want when I'm done. Or let me finish this, and then when I come over here to do this exercise, and you can come over here to do this, and then have as much fun as you want. And then hopefully they have the patience, which is hopefully they do have the patience to wait, if that's what you tell them, to wait If and that's if you don't do it with them. But for them to hopefully wait until you're done, and then once you're done, it's just like, well, I saw mommy do this, I saw daddy do this, I saw grandma do this, I saw granddad do this. Can I do it? Can I do it as fast? I know I would. I would be. I believe if I saw my parents doing certain things, grandparents doing certain things, I'll be thinking to myself like, well, can I do it? Can I do it as fast? No, excuse me. I guess I'm still waking up. Can I do it as fast? Can I be as strong? And especially for me, thinking I might be as strong as my dad at 6 years old if I saw him doing certain things. So get them involved. That's a good thing, and that's what kids are pretty much supposed to do. If they see people doing certain things and to do it with high hopes, depending on what they see people doing is good. So again, if they see you working out, that's a good thing, and then if they are trying to do it, that's a good thing. So just figure out whether or not you let them do it with you, or if you try to figure out a way to where it's like, all right, let me do this now, and then once I'm done, you can go ahead and have as much fun as you want. So just let them get involved, let them have their fun, and again, if you don't want to do it with them, try to figure out what you can do to try to get them to wait, and then they can turn up afterwards. So hopefully this helps at least a little bit. If you have kids, nieces, nephews, grandkids, whatever the case may be, so where you overcome whatever frustration you have with the kids getting in the way, or if you don't necessarily get frustrated but not sure what to do with them. So hopefully this helps at least a little bit. This is Martin on and Trainer Fuller Fitness. Take care.